Anyone found a note out there? Got it again. Okay. Marry me. Well, as you got about the last video, I'm in the doghouse. I'm getting bullied. Oh God, I'm getting whipped and bashed. Terrible. Okay. What are we going to talk about? Now, I've been told off that I keep misspelling a word. Chakra. It's chakra. So, I want to talk mainly about the energies surrounding spirit. Many people say, well, I don't see anything. But there again, do you see the air? Do you see electricity? Yeah. Why? Because it makes itself known. Everything vibrates, as I told you. The so-called spirit or entities, good or bad, they vibrate at a lot higher rate than what we do. So you cannot see them. You can only see what moves. The eye is designated that way. You see what moves. If we were a snake or a Komodo dragon, then we would sense it with our tongues. You know it's going to come, like Dark Raven one does. And she's very good at using the tongue. But they sense it with different ways. You say you have 5 senses. You do not. You have 6 senses. And what happens? The pituitary gland, because it is not used, has shrunk. If you do not believe me on this, check out some of the Egyptian information, and you find they had these huge elongated heads. The pituitary gland you're talking is like this. Now it's very small. Why? You don't use it, you lose it. But it's coming back. A lot of you are becoming more aware, you're becoming more psychic. You're beginning to see spirit. And when you can see, it can be confusing at times, believe me. Because they sometimes appear so solid, you think they were in 3rd dimensional bodies. As David Icke said, we are a hologram. Now, with a hologram, you have parts that are representative of the whole. Like each cell has a representation of the whole body. So therefore, all the organs, it's like having one big organ because they're all interlinked through the cells. They all have representation. This is typical of holograms. You always have the small as representative of the large. Now, I can explain this quite easy. The Earth gives off like a magnetic field which can be measured and it can be documented. The human body gives off a magnetic field which can be documented, photographed. So, what is the difference? None. They're both identical in appearance, except one is smaller than the whole. Now, because of this magnetic field, we can project tachyon particles. Because the mind is very powerful, and it can project these tachyon particles to heal or to damage, depending on your morality, I guess. But I use this to my advantage to be able to heal. It's very, very powerful, and Dark Raven uses the same method. Remember, those of you who have done Reiki, it's the same thing. The brain is projecting those particles that you want to infuse your body within the body of the person you're working with. When this happens, you are directing those tachyon particles to be effective and to start a healing process with the magnetic field that's surrounding the body, which is of course the aura. Psychics talk about the aura, but it is really a magnetic field. Each cell in your body has a magnetic field. So because of this, you integrate the energy through one section to heal another section. This works quite well, that the mind is the most advanced computer in the world. Ah, you said, but a computer can be programmed. So can your mind. In some parts they call it mind control or brainwashing. It gives you different values, and they instill those different values within the mind. And your body will respond to those values. In other words, you are a prisoner, though you don't realize it. You are a drone, a slave to the higher echelons of this earth. So how do we break free from this? We can move tachyon particles. Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem. The problem now is that freedom. Freedom, once someone said to me, is a state of mind. This is quite true. We're back to that again. The brain, the greatest computer on this earth. It can multitask about 1,000 things at the same time. So, you can separate yourself mentally from the control center of the, for another word, the higher echelons that are trying to control you. They try to put restrictions on you. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. You've got to do this, you've got to do that. Even the very adverts that you see on that little screen in your home called a television. Some of you sit for hours looking at this little screen. They are controlling. I remember in the 60s they had subliminal advertising. In other words, you could be watching a program and all of a sudden you decide to go out and get a bar of chocolate or go and buy some smokes. Because it's subliminal controlling. It's programming the subconscious mind. You're only 1/10 conscious. You're 9/10 subconscious. Think of it like an iceberg. The top of the iceberg you can see, but the bulk of the iceberg is below. Now, what would happen if you could tap 2/10 of that mind power that you don't use? I'll tell you what would happen, miracles. You could do things that are impossible. Maybe walk on water. You see, that was the trouble with Dark Raven one. She'd been brainwashed and her brain's still in the washing machine.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'll give you a bath. You'll be going in the washing machine.
It's alright when it goes into spin dry or hell breaks out.
It's supposed to be serious talk.
Oh, sorry. See, I'm getting told off.
Nobody's impressed.
See, they're telling me off again. Okay, I got to go. Sorry about that, folks. Got to go back onto serious talk. I've been ordered and told by her ladyship. Right. The brain mass is only an organ. So what, have any of you ever seen someone that has deceased or crossed over? You look at the body and think there's something missing. This is not the person I know. There's something missing. Of course there is. The motivation, the spirit, the electroplasmatic energy, bioenergy has gone. The body is only a vehicle, it's just an encasement for the bioplasma or bioenergy, which allows you to think and construct. They brought out a deep sea diving suit. Now this was a metal contraption. You were climbed in and they sealed you in it, and you had lots of levers and things which operated the legs and the hands. Well, it's much the same as the body really, except you haven't got the levers. You've got this highly efficient piece of machinery called a brain, which sends electric currents down to the nerve endings of the body. I mean, it only registered, these nerve endings sometimes don't register instantly. I mean, you can cut yourself and you wouldn't even know it. And you look down and say, oh my God, I've cut myself. And all of a sudden you feel pain. It registers back to the brain. This man has cut himself. He's damaged. Quick, send, I forget. Is it omniplasty? I forget now.
Morphine?
No, don't you? They send down an agent that will heal the wound quickly and knit it together. Now, then antibiotics will be, antivirus components or antibodies will be sent down, which is white blood cells, to combat it, any bacteria. It's like a continual battle within the body. It's like a war zone in there. So, again, this human computer, this biological computer, operates the whole system. Where does this go to? It goes to decoding data. You look at, say, a picture, and the brain will decode it to what it is and feed back the information. Oh, that's a picture, and that's such and such, such and such, such.
14 minutes have passed.
And it has, okay, it has decoded the picture. This is the same thing with anything. You look at a friend, the brain decodes the vision it's looking at and feeds back through the memory banks and tells you, yes, that's such and such. So if we use this to our advantage, it's a tool, same as the electronic computer, to control tachyon. Anything in the world can be yours. Anything. If you want something real bad, you'll get it. If you're single-minded about it, because you set up a tachyon force, you create the article you want on another plane of existence. And you keep enforcing that, and eventually you get it. Right, folks, that looks like it's the end of this talk. The gruesome twosome will stop nagging me, and I'm gone out of here. Merry we have met, merry we part, merry we meet again. Om Shanti, Namaste.